Hello everyone, my name is Tony. I've decided to compare and contrast a company called Mindfulness Therapy 2018. It's an LLC, private counseling company run by Melissa Kramer. She's a licensed clinical social worker. The intake forms for the new clients at Mindfulness Therapy include a confidentiality form, an intake form with the client's background information, and a contact information form for their phone number, address, email, and such. There is no explicitly titled form that says informed consent, but the limits of confidentiality form and the new client intake form does have a lot of the same dynamics that you would see on an informed consent form for counseling. This is being compared and contrast to the New Jersey Administrative Code, Title 13, Law and Public Safety, Chapter 34, Subtitles 10 through 31, for Professional Counselor Examiners Committee in 2017. More specifically, the Subchapter 18, Code 1334-18.5, which explains confidentiality for New Jersey state law. This explains limits of confidentiality, which are in line with the limits of confidentiality for the mindfulness therapy intake form. Also, the mindfulness forms are being compared to the American Counselor Association 2014 Code of Ethics, more specifically Code A2. Within the Code A2, the mindfulness forms do compare to A2A, which is for informed consent, A2B, which is for types of information needed, A2D, which is inability to give consent, A2E, which is mandated clients. There are two things in the mindfulness therapy forms that do not align with the New Jersey Administrative Code or with the ACA Code of Ethics. For the ACA Code of Ethics, A2C, developmental and cultural sensitivity, which explains being culturally sensitive to clients from different backgrounds, people who speak different languages. There is nothing in the mindfulness therapy forms that would suggest that they are culturally sensitive. Now, I'm assuming that it may be a verbal discussion taken between the client and the counselor, but it's definitely not nothing explicitly written on either of the three forms. Also, there's something mentioned in the mindfulness therapy forms that's not included in the New Jersey state law codes or in the ACA Code of Ethics, and that is potential harm to animals. It says in their limits of confidentiality, if they get reports of animal abuse, they're letting the client know that they will notify the proper authorities in this event. That's actually not required for the ACA Code of Ethics, and it's not required for the New Jersey Administrative Code, which is interesting. But other than those two things, other than the cultural sensitivity and the animal cruelty elements of the mindfulness therapy forms, they are in line with everything that they should be in line with, considering the ACA Code of Ethics 2014 and the New Jersey Administrative Code 2017. My reaction to this assignment, to the client intake forms and the limits of confidentiality forms for mindfulness therapy, is pretty much what I expected. The forms I didn't expect them to be culturally sensitive, because in northeast part of the United States, there's not a whole lot of companies, especially mental health facilities, who are sensitive to people of different cultures. It's kind of normal for them to for you to see European dynamics expressed in these mental health facilities. I guess that's because they are informed by Western culture, information in the colleges up here. So even though it is mandatory for multicultural counseling for licensure for counselors up here in the state of New Jersey, it's not really shown in the counseling agencies up here. So that was expected for me. I expected it to not be culturally sensitive, but I did not expect it to. I didn't expect it to be sensitive to animal abuse. Thank you very much for watching my video blog, and I'm looking forward to reading your replies or watching your replies. Thank you. Have a good day.